Did any of you ask for me to react to the FC25 or at the very least the EAFC Reddit? I'm assuming no, but I'm doing it anyways. Welcome to the EAFC. Well, I guess it's technically called the EA Football FC. Is it called EA Football FC? I'm not even positive. What was it called? EA Sports FC. Yeah, that's what it was. I'm diving into this Reddit thread after experiencing FC25 this year. I wanted to know what people's actual thoughts are because I think it's still worth noting that I think people have generally agreed that FC25 has been a terrible game. That being said, there are probably people that are not everybody. So I'm assuming there are plenty of people that may or may not agree that FC25 is a bad game. I highly doubt that, but that's what this Reddit here. That's why I'm here in this Reddit. So we're about to explore it. I basically filtered the top posts from this past year, and we're about to see if FC25 really is considered the worst in all of FC/FIFA. So let's dive right in. So here we go. First post, literally the top post of all year, 10 months ago. EAFC 25 has become the worst reviewed football game from the company ever. Now, I don't know if that's actually true or not, but are you really going to question something like that? A statement like that? Don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's about as accurate as it can get. Look, 9 months ago, Fulham player Anthony Robinson asked EA to gift him his own card as he can't afford it. I remember this, and I certainly do remember this card. I remember when this card used to be fairly expensive. He was one of the top, like one of the top players that you could have had in your team at the time of his release because of his pace. So yeah, he was a really expensive card at the time. Nowadays, obviously, he's not going to be as good, but he's still pretty decent. For everyone who doesn't like to waste time, you scored a banger, but your mom raised a gentleman. You get the R1, L1, which is basically the skip celebration buttons, which I do use it frequently. But believe me, if you piss me off, man, I will greedy on you. Don't worry. If you greedy on me, I'll greedy on you. I'm just that type of guy. Scored 400 km/h slide tackle own goal. I gotta see this. What the heck is up with this? Holy man. That being said, though, I remember this was a frequent problem during the game. I remember when this used to be, well, I think it still could be a possibility. I think they haven't really fixed that. So it is still technically possible for you to score goals like that or get scored on like that. So that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility, but just keep that in mind. Anyone else find it funny how EA avoided copyright infringement on Sancho's leave? That's insane. So they removed Spider-Man, Sonic, and The Simpsons from his It's funny how they actually kept like the silhouettes of it. So you can still see the silhouette of Spider-Man. You can still see the silhouette of Sonic with his ring outside. And then you still have a little bit of that silhouette with Marge and Homer. That's really funny though. That's actually really funny. FIFA 14 finishing animation. What is this? This was from what, 1 month ago? Wow. Oh man. They did have plenty of animations at the time. I can tell you this much. I didn't even realize that those are actual like good graphics. Honestly, the graphics look pretty good even for this time. Kind of makes you wonder what happened, really. That's totally normal, EA. 8 months ago, by the way. This is insane. Okay, I don't know why is it buffering. Okay. Chip shot. Okay, hang on. Let me just start from the beginning. He goes in. Chip shot. Probably gonna... I'll give you this much. I don't think I've ever seen that before. But am I surprised? Not really. Oh man, remember when the kickoff? Oh my god, do you remember when the kickoff glitch was like the most insane thing? Oh my god, FIFA 23 was the start of that. FC 24 just exacerbated that to its max. FC 25 had a version of it, and it kind of still has even to this day, it still has a version of that, which basically in kickoff your players just somehow cannot wake up. It's like they're in standby almost, so it makes it much more harder to defend. And believe me, I scored plenty of goals that way, and I've been scored on plenty that way as well. So let me see how he responded to that one, right? So he attempts to kickoff glitch, and he stops it, right? He does a good job stopping that from happening. Why is it buffering, man? I don't understand. Just keep it at a steady rate. I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't know why I'm having issues with the internet. It's so weird. But in any case, yeah, he stops it. Long ball passes all the way to right here. Nobody defending him. Drags the defender. Power shots. Ouch. Damn. Genuinely can't make this stuff up. Well, he scored the goal and it's still a corner. What? Worst XX ever 2025. What the heck is all this? Hold on, I need to zoom in. This has to be the worst FIFA ever. Wow. FIFA 22 is generally the worst gaming experience I've ever. Oh, I see. Okay, look. I'm not gonna exacerbate the same thing these people have said every year, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a lot of people who have generally just did not enjoy the game for a numerous amount of reasons, right? But I think for what it's worth, FIFA 25 FC 25 might legitimately be the more objectively hated game, because it's a game that didn't just affect, you know, a certain number of people just because either A, they suck at the game, or two, they just didn't like plenty of the stuff in here, right? Like the AI could have been like bad at the time for them, you know, maybe AI defending was a problem, maybe AI defending could have been implemented and stuff like that, you know. Again, there's a reason why some of this stuff exists in the first place. AI defending probably existed because there's plenty of people complaining that they can't defend, and now here we are complaining that we cannot, that there's too much defending, and we can't be, you know, we can't be basically spoon feeding tackles to AI defenders just because you suck at the game, you know. It's one of those like little things that, you know, you start to think to yourself like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit of a balance. I will say though that the FC 25 community has basically all agreed that this is the worst game, and it's not just by like certain people or certain this or certain that, right? Where I think this year legitimately, like no joke, is worse. And believe me, last year we said it was worse. Last year we said FC 24 was the worst, and we thought it couldn't get worse, or we had a little bit of hope. And FC 25 came in and basically took the crown, which is just wild to me. And listen, I understand the sentiment of like the worst XX ever, you know, the worst FIFA XX, FC XX, whatever. But to be honest, man, it's not like EA does a good job, you know, trying to solve that issue. They basically justify it. They justify our anger just by completely releasing this stockpile, you know, which is insane. Boras is over it. Boras legend. Yep. No patch can quote unquote save FC 25. It is doomed. Many noticed big issues at the beginning, and these issues will remain until the end. It is clearly a performance issue on consoles where there are too many animations for 60 FPS to handle. It results in a very heavy experience. Unless FC 26 runs on 120 FPS, next year will be the same, if not worse. The only way to play FC 25 in a somewhat successful way is completely abusing broken mechanics. The beautiful game is gone. He did hit it the nail in the coffin, right? So this was 9 months ago. By this point, it was December around here. By this point, the big patch that they had in January around the end of the team of the year, that patch hasn't happened yet. And to be honest, even after that patch, Boar's still right. You know, the consoles just couldn't handle all the amount of animations. There's too much delay, too much, you know, input lag. Just so much problems with the console version. Like, you literally cannot play this game unless you're on PC, which I cannot, because my computer probably won't be able to run said game on, you know, on PC. So that's something that's not in my options. You know, playing the game on console is my best option. So for him to say this kind of stuff, he's justified in saying it. And honestly, he's still right. Even with the big patch, it still didn't technically save FC 25. People still generally believe that it's still the worst game. So yeah. This year marks the 10th anniversary of foot drafts, and no changes to rewards have been made throughout the decade. Absolutely yes. It has not changed at all. Draft is a game mode that had so much potential for insane rewards, had a lot of potential for insane, you know, ideas, concepts, and yet they maintain the same progress, the same type of game, the same type of rewards for 10 years. I've only been in half of those 10 years, and I'm even impressed that it's been that long since they haven't made a change. I thought, if anything, draft was like implemented like the year before or something, but I didn't think it was 10 years. That's when you know it's bad. Oh man. EA gets slaughtered by the X community notes. We have identified an issue with the following SPC and has disabled them while we investigate. The 1 to 391 plus Team of the Year Ultimate Birthday Gola. Oh, Oh, this is from FC 24. Yeah. Oh, okay. The grades of the game, footies icon, team 1 through 4 player pick. Will provide an update. In fact, there was no issue. The SPC was delivering exactly what the description announced. They are simply manipulating the odds on purpose. I mean, do we need to say more? It was this. More egregiously, it was the Team of the Year Messi incident and the League Gun red player pick incident. That's all you really need to know. Modern FIFA summed up. Okay, hold on. I need to actually put some earbuds for this because I want to hear what I want to hear the Nicholas crash out. I'm just assuming.
Mato. Nah, yeah. What? Watch this. Wait, watch this, chat. This one will go in for the EA employees. Watch. Little from like
for the EA employees.
right here, right? Yeah. Wara logic for the Canadians, man.
Yep. Sounds about right. Trivelas were super overpowered. To a power almost to a fault. You can see by the foot position where the penalty is going. Okay, so let's close in on this. So right here, you see that he's trying to shoot it right in the middle. Oh, is it basically like your... Yeah, but by that point, I'll tell you this much. Even if you knew where it's going, you're not going to react fast enough because there's some delay with the stick. I literally lost a penalty match today because for some reason, every time I flick the right stick, it doesn't want to save. For some reason, it doesn't want to dive the way it wants to. So reward upgrade is now 35 points instead of 45 points. You know what's crazy? I thought it was more than this. 35 points, 45 points. Do you realize how crazy it is that EA had to change the amount of games that you have to play from 45 to 35? Now that may not seem like a lot, you know, dropping it like 10 points, but that is significant. That's 3 games off of that, basically 4 games basically off of that. And the fact that they even changed that to begin with just showed you just how much people just were tired already off rip to begin with. You know, this game basically, it was almost like a patience test. If you're patient enough to endure those 45, you know, games or whatever, good on you. You suffered more than us. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, you got your 45 points, you get your player picks and your packs. But for the rest of the people, we don't like to suffer. That's the problem. We don't like to suffer. The fact is that for a game that doesn't involve a lot of skill or a lot of, you know, ability, this is basically like God. I'm just glad they did, and I'm hoping that they do something better for FC 26, and I think they are, but again, that's left to be seen. Thank you EA Sports and FC 25 for changing my life. I want to sincerely thank EA for what FC 25 has brought into my life. Not in terms of entertainment or gameplay, those are long gone, but in something far more valuable. I have been playing FIFA for years. I used to care deeply. Every misplaced pass, every rebound goal, every scripted moment would affect me. I would argue with friends about tactics, change formations mid-match, and read patch notes hoping the game would finally feel fair. Then FC 25 came out. This game is different. It is not broken. It is indifferent. It does not care how much you try. It does not care what rating your players are. You can time a tackle perfectly, and the ball can still bounce back to your opponent. You can play beautiful football and lose to someone who holds sprint and shoots from impossible angles. There is no justice here. And somehow, through that repeated exposure to frustration and futility, something changed. I stopped reacting. I stopped expecting fairness. I stopped needing results. I let go. I started reading, not out of desperation but curiosity. I found writings by men who lived 2,000 years ago, who spoke calmly about control, reason, and perspective. They said that the only thing we own is our mind, our judgment, our choices. Everything outside of us. Everything else is outside of us. Suddenly, FC 25 made sense. It became a mirror, a test, a quiet teacher. Every kickoff is a chance to practice patience. Every kickoff glitch, every AI blunder, every rebound goal is just another passing cloud in the sky. Now I play sometimes, sometimes I don't. I no longer check the market. I no longer chase rewards. I do not break things. I do not raise my voice. The game has not improved, but I have. So thank you, EA. You created something so wildly frustrating, so out of balance, so unconcerned with reason, that it showed me how to stop needing control. And in that loss, I found something better. I found peace. Powerful words from my not so precious. Honestly, man, this is inspiring, man. This is actually really inspiring, to be honest. This is just every EAFC player at this point. You've basically just stopped caring alongside the game. Listen, if the game doesn't care about what you want, then why should we care about what they want, you know? At the end of it all, we both pretty much ended up, you know, well, for the most part, we ended up losing because we bought the game. They get the money. That being said, you know, of course, a lot of people are actually dropping out of the FC 25 and not playing the game a lot, and of course not buying packs. So in the real end, who lost the most? Who knows? Bring back icon swaps. Yes, I like icon swaps a lot. I do like them a lot. I do enjoy icon swaps. I remember when we always have the choice of either using those player swaps for specific players, for a player pick, or for a certain, you know, like big pack, like an 85-20 or 86-10, you know, and then a prime icon player pick, or a you know, a prime icon moments player pick, or that Raspadori for some reason, you know. It was always fun just to have like those swaps and then having the choice to pick that player, you know. It was always good. It was always good. All 7 people in my rush game went AFK. That was the fun days, right? The fun days when you would play rush and every single player would just put their you know, their left stick into a position where it will just continue moving, and that's the gameplay. That was the rush gameplay for this year, my guys. You know, you got nothing out of this, nothing basically, and for what it's worth, you still got nothing. Rush hasn't really been a big mode to play with. It wasn't motivating enough to play that game. It was fine, I guess, for what it's trying to do, but after a while you start to see the flaws and you start to see some of the logic, and people just don't like it anymore. So who bothers, right? I'm sure no one is surprised. 1 year ago, EA servers, yeah, that still even happens to this day. It happened literally to me like 2 days ago. They finally did it 6 months ago. You will get the win if your opponent quits the match while drawing. Quits a penalty, quits a red card, 45 minutes. Huge. Zwayback, a perennial elite player in previous years, breaks down after winning 4 games out of 20 in Division 2. Oh my god, man.
I can't go any further. I can't go any further than this. I'm stuck here like a little baby bird trying to fly out of the nest, but I can't. I can't fly out of the nest. All my brothers and sisters have flown out of the nest, and I'm sat here like a little baby bird without, like, I have the wings, but for whatever reason this
Honestly, that just sounds sad, honestly. Holy man. Believe me, man, the encounters that you have in this game will make you feel that. You'll definitely feel sadness playing this game. You don't even feel anger. You just feel like, you feel depression. You feel sad. That's the worst thing. That's the worst feeling you could ever have, you know? Like, oh man, like the amount of times I literally was on the verge of like just being so sad, almost so sad to the point where I'm just like, why do I keep playing this game? You know, it happens plenty of times. Don't worry about me, man. But again, you always have that hope. And next year it'll probably be that way, you know? It'll probably be that way, but again, that's pretty much gonna be the last straw if that happens. Dude, Zwayback, he was a big elite player, and dude couldn't even manage barely managed 4 winning games, 4 wins out of 20 in Division 3, which Division 3 is probably the most sweatiest division you'll find in the entire game. Like, that's not even a joke. Believe me, I've been stuck plenty of times in Division 3, and that's because there's a lot of Smurfs over there just trying to, like, you know, lose out on Division 2 and then play Division 3 because the rewards are just fine. You know, they're fine for what they are, and that doesn't motivate people to just continue further. There's no motivation for that. Generally, what do I do here? I left it overnight. What the frick? What the heck did you do? How did this even happen? Hold on, 608. Hold on. Can I zoom in on this? 608.25 second. How does that even happen? Was 5 up in squad battles and I guess the keepers decided he's had enough. Sent the defender to fill in. What? Hold on. What is this about? Oh, right. This is a similar glitch. Like, why? Going into rush just to AFK the whole game should be led to a 24-hour soft ban. I wish this was the case, bro. The title, if you're not going to play, don't go into a game. If you AFK for the XP, find another video game to play. Games are meant to be played. Thanks and sorry for the rant. No, man. You're justified, man. You're justified. Mbappe with 97 pace. Oh, jeez. That was so loud. So loud. Oh, God. See Mbappe. Okay. He breaks through. Yep. And the defender's caught up. And listen, I know there's a whole deal with like, you know, ball control and stuff like that. Like, yeah, if you control the ball, you're going to go slower. The fact of the matter is, if he had Rapid Plus, he would be gone, like as Mbappe would be, you know? But the fact of the matter is that keep in mind that even Ballon d'Or cards back in pre-patch, you know, FC 25, even the Ballon d'Or ones felt heavy and slow and everything else. They did not feel good. And honestly, believe me, I tried Mbappe when I got him. He was not good. He was not good. Shout out to the few content creators that publicly call out EA. You guys are the real ones. Indeed, they are. Indeed, they are. Believe me. Nick, Inception, like these guys have been on their case literally since practically almost day one of this game. They have been non-stop against this game, and for good reason, you know? All this stuff, you know, hackers, no grindable content, nothing to tell yourself, you know, like you should probably go play the game today. You'll be able to have a good time. There's nothing that does that, and they call it out for what it is. I try to call it out as much as I can, but obviously I don't have a big platform, so I really can't. But I'll still try to, because it's something that it's a legitimate problem and people need to hear about it. PSA, I found the method to guarantee an 100% an accurate perfect pass. Just pass it to a player who's offside. It doesn't matter how, which way you're facing, how many players, no matter which way you're facing, how many players are in front, how much input delay there is, the ball will find them no matter what. Follow me for more useful tips. Believe me, man, I've been doing that, and that's still a 50-50. Esports World Cup, FC 24 champion Alfonso just lost in the FC Pro Open for this. Oh, God. Oh, my God, man. That is just shocking. That is literally like the most... That's just depressing to see, man. And because it's still a thing. It's still a thing. Farewell, Ballon d'Or Mbappe. Your advanced 4++ and 96 attacking positioning will be missed. Yep. That sounds about right. I tell you, man. I'm not joking when I'm saying, man. The Ballon d'Or cards were equally as useless as the actual cards that you had at the time. You know, your Ballon d'Or Mbappe is just about as useless as your base Mbappe, which. That pretty much tells you everything. In my 20 years of watching football, I've never seen this once. Bro did it 10 times this game alone. Hold on. What did I miss here? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's my biggest pet peeve, bro. This is already awakening like my anger. I'm about to turn into FIFA Hulk. Anyone else enjoying the EAFC fall off? I wonder if I'm alone here, but anyone else enjoying how badly the direction of EAFC is going? Poor gameplay, poor rewards, 0 promos packed due to horrendous pack weight. Content has been shocking and objectives are terrible. You can see what EA are trying to achieve by forcing players into buying store packs. But why would we do that? If anything, you're pissing the majority of your player base off and we're all moving to another game. Generally, I haven't played COD in about 6 years, but I got a Game Pass last week after uninstalling and my God, the game is actually incredible. I've been so focused on playing FIFA, I've not given anything else a chance until this year. After keeping an eye on the subreddit, I definitely made the right decision. What's EA's plan here? I don't get it. And to be honest, man, we still don't get it. EAFC 25 has probably become like the biggest anomaly in recent memory. Like at this point, the fact that we even got, you know, like this game to begin with It's an anomaly in itself. I think people just need to study just how this game even existed to begin with. My God. Nepenthes' editor sums up the problem with promos in FC25. My problem with FC25 right now is that I don't know how to quote unquote engage with a promo without going to the store. The cards are amazing, but I can't pack them. The only objective is for a frankly embarrassingly bad player. No menu grind, no new upgrades. Am I just too old for this? No, you're in the proper demographic, man. It's just EA not knowing who their demographic is. That's the problem. I've been playing for 25 years. Ooh, this is 2 months ago. Oh my God. Oh jeez. This is a long one. Should I even bother reading this? Let me try to read through it all and let me summarize it in a sec. Alright, so I just read through all this and yeah, he's going through it, man. 25 years since literally FIFA 2000. He had a lot of fun creating teams, switching tactics, playing with, your own pro player. And then when Ultimate Team came out, it was fun for a time. And then FC25 rolls around. He's not having fun with it anymore. He's even saying he's not even going to bother pre-ordering the next FC game, which he is justified in that. That's good for him, man. For the first time in his life, by the way, $100 not going to the next edition. Yep, and he still loves football, but this ain't it. And for some reason, he added an update here where people were saying that he just randomly posted a AI text from ChatGPT. Honestly, this does not feel like ChatGPT stuff like that. This is from the soul. This is honestly from the soul, man. Honestly, it's sad. I'm the greatest finisher this game has ever seen. Seriously, I had no idea I was so freaking good. Even my teammates get intimidated by my goal scoring skills. I was playing Rush and none of my teammates had even had the courage to make a shot. They all just passed me the ball. Not even joking. They may even dribble the goalkeeper, but they still don't have the guts to shoot. All they do is making me a pass for me to score. Need a goal? Just pass me the ball. That's what I'm good at. There had to be an objective going on because there's no shot. Saw this on Reddit's greatest sub and had to share. FIFA 07, by the way. When you're 3 goals up at home, humiliate your opponent by passing the ball around without them touching it. Your fans will love it. So this is where it all started. Don't be as stupid as me. What'd you do? What did you do? Rafinha, okay, 9 months ago. Oh, he okay, Diaby, that was good at the time. And yeah, Osimhen, what did he do? Oh no! Yeah. I see. When they made the whole player pick, change, they made it a lot more unnecessary than it should have. To be honest with you, honestly, that layout is so weird. I still don't necessarily agree with it, but they made it better apparently. So not the biggest deal in the world. Is FC dying or am I missing something? Yep. No, man, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is the current state. You're not wrong in anything, my guy. As I sorted them from the most recent month, the top post from this recent month, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at these. Do not pre-order. Okay, interesting. What is he gonna say about this? Wait for reviews from content creators before pulling the plug. You'll miss this shitty icon that will be obsolete after 2 weeks because you'll pull the worst one. And day 1 of the early access, if you want to buy, whenever content creators have had 20 games to get a good feel for the game, then decide. I've been playing FIFA for 15 years, been an elite for as long as Elite existed. This is the first year I stopped 2 months and never managed to get back into the game due to gameplay. Not even seasons, not even clubs that kept me in this game. It's a buggy, extremely shitty mess of a game. I believe they listen to the community when I'll see the actual reviews from actual players. Yeah, sounds about right. Hold on. The same creators that boycotted 24 but played 25 immediately are already saying how the great game looks. Creators are the last ones you should get reviews from. That's not entirely true, man. I would say this. Like I said, when creators play these games, they're not doing it just because they're they still love the game in spite of it being still bad. It's their job. They have to, pretty much. They have to be the ones telling you what is wrong. If you see Nick, if you see Inception, if you see Nepenthes, hell, even if you see players like Danny Aarons play this game, they won't tell you the problems, but you'll see them, and they'll feel it too. They feel it too. I feel it too. So if you're doing the whole thing of content creators don't really tell you the full story, I believe they do. It's only the ones that are sponsored by EA that don't buy you the full story, you know? So I get, yeah, you can wait till you see, right? But I would say, you know, like, you know, just, you know, do your interpretation the best way you can, you know. Yeah, look at content creators and see what they look like, but also just look at general gameplay all over the place. If Reddit posts, you know, like, you know, gameplay and stuff like that, then you can make your choice there. I mean, I tell you the full story, but it'll give you a sense. Check Twitter. Yeah, they always post gameplay. All this stuff, man. That's how it is. Why do I keep playing this game? Oh boy. What is this? Oh god, where's it going? Yeah. Oh no. And look who's coming to the rescue. It's Cavaradonna. Oh my god. Someone explain this. Okay. What? You know what? Damn, bro. I knew Mbappe had it like that, bro. Bro, literally hitting that Mew. Like, I've definitely had clean tackles that have been called as actual fouls. You know, clean steals, and they've been called fouls. And yeah, my player has been booked off for that. So thanks, EA. Time finishing is not a skill. Good thing that it will be removed in FC 26. There's no skill in tapping a button twice in quick succession. All it takes is muscle memory and some practice. The skill in the game is your ability to break your opponent down and adjust to different playing styles, tactics, not to green time a Trivela from 40 yards out. Edit. People in these replies are comparing time finishing as a skill to playing guitar, shooting basketballs, and playing golf. This is a bad idea on my part. EA, I hate you, but thanks for removing that crap from the game. Enough reason for me to buy 26 now. Timing is a skill, but I would say for the purposes of this game, it kind of isn't. Because even if you time a finish, most people end up using the time finishing outside the box anyways. For finesse shots, for Trivelas. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad it's being removed, you know? The bigger skill is like literally deciding at that point if you're going to change your finesse shot into a low driven. That's actually a good skill because that actually has you deciding on a choice, not necessarily timing your shot to a timing window that will guarantee you a goal. At least at this point, you know, when you decide yourself, like, should I go for a finesse shot, like up the top corner or the bottom corner, and which one will probably be the best option? Then there you go. That's your little logic playing in that moment. Should I go for this? Should I go for that? How do I break down the goalkeeper? And what's the proper way to do it? That is skill. Playstyles have been the worst addition to this game ever. Things that were normal for players to do in earlier FIFAs are now impossible if they don't have the playstyles. So you're telling me gold base Haaland can't shoot a simple 10-yard finesse shot because he doesn't have the playstyle. I could go on and on. You almost always need quick step or rapid on your attackers, otherwise you're at a disadvantage. I also shouldn't need tiki-taka on every player to make simple 5-yard passes. It makes so many players useless, which you could have used a couple years ago. It's so frustrating. Yep. Honestly, that's a very fair sentiment. Honestly, I don't even know why playstyles exist to begin with. The game has the worst attacking AI ever. Let's see. Oh, why did he slow down? Oh my god, why did this one slow down? At that moment, he was sprinting. He basically beat his defender. Look at that. And the speed that they're going, he basically beat him. But at that moment right there, he slowed down when he should have kept going. At that moment, the only way you could have kept him going literally is to like press the L1 button to basically command his run. But you wouldn't know that because you expect him to continue that run basically. But at the very least, if he's not gonna cut in like that, you know, you should at least try to like cut in, you know, at that last moment. If he's gonna be right there, right there, he should have cut in right there. Right there is where he should have cut in. Maybe the simple pass, but nope. Ouch. How EA plans to slow the power curve in FC 26 has been revealed. Around the 34-minute mark of the Foot Weekly podcast latest interview on YouTube. Okay, I actually did see a little bit of this, and I actually do want to see how this is all about, right? So here's what they're going to say. Increases to the actual Okay, let's see. I'll recommend the okay. Increases to the actual power curve where the new cards are introduced that become the best at specific positions and roles will be saved for the big promos like Black Friday, Winter Wild Cards, Team of the Year, TOTS, etc. All of the in-between promos will then focus on lifting up the lower rated cards to that new power level so that there's more squad building freedom, rather than making incremental increases to the power curve promo after promo. So from the beginning of the game until Black Friday, the high-end meta cards will remain at the top of the power curve. Mid-level icons will remain usable and in line with the power curve during this time as well, rather than being immediately phased out after the second week of the game. Come Black Friday, there could be, for example, a new best right back in the game. Then the following promo there could be a new best right back from the Prem, but on par with the Black Friday card instead of incrementally better. This is just reporting from what the two people in charge of plan for FC26. If you feel the need to come over here and whine about unrelated things, please go touch grass. Okay, fair enough. All right, so basically, EA did confirm, or at least these two lead designers, these two directors confirmed a couple of things about the power curve in this game. In the power curve, that doesn't mean there's going to be less promos. What they're basically saying is that the promos are going to still be a big part of the game. However, they are changing how they're going to like basically, up the power curve in a way that doesn't seem like it's constantly increasing per promo. Basically, that's what they're trying to say. So every promo will basically be like, yeah, we're selecting these few players to boost up their ratings and stuff like that, but to the current power curve as it is right now. So basically the power curve will increase for the most part during the big promos like Black Friday, Winter Wild Cards, Team of the Year, Team of the Seasons. Those those ones that become like insanely good, like in specific positions and stuff like that, like those super increases will happen during those big promos. So by then, say, in Team of the Black Friday, for example, if they had like a card that was like a left winger, right? And this left wing card is in the pretty good power curve right there. It's in the middle, like mid-level, but usable, very usable. And say in the next promo, they release another left winger. That left winger will probably be the same as the other one. Now, of course, the only difference being like, animations or stuff like that. But for the most part, it should be generally the same type of card, just with, maybe some added stuff and stuff like that. Or maybe just, this basically the same card. But it won't go above that, basically. It'll just stay the same, or just with slight changes to either play styles or roles, which that's fine. That's perfectly fine because it gives you more variety. That's what I like to hear. I was down 3 at halftime, and the opponent kept just wasting time passing the ball with defenders. He was clearly better than me, but God, was he so rude. He then messages me afterwards saying, too easy. At least play the effing game with some respect. Only started playing foot recently. Has it always been like this? Brother, I don't know if you've been living under a rock. Well, under the FIFA rock. But dude, this has been happening for years already. Eons at this point. Don't fall for the trailer trap. Yep, sounds about right. Do not buy this game at full price. They will give you R9 as a pre-order bonus. But they will. And I repeat, they will find a way to F up the game. Yeah. I mean, listen. I agree with this. I'm going to be the one to basically take that for you. If you don't want to buy this game, good. That's fine. I'm buying the game for content. That being said, if you guys do not want to play this game for that reason, you're more than justified in doing so. Yeah, 24 made me mad, but 25 brought my depression back. That's how you know it's bad. The gameplay will never improve until we get a new engine, but with so much spaghetti codes and animation we probably won't see one until next gen. It's also very likely it will be Frostbite 2 to keep adding stuff without making a new engine. The series is cooked. Yeah, I mean, listen, we definitely do need a new engine for this game. That being said, are they going to do that? Probably not. But yeah, I guess I'll just end it on here because I am kind of getting tired at this point. But yeah, the descent to the Reddit for the EA Sports Reddit, it was very interesting to say the least. It was very, very informative. And basically, it just reaffirms, what people have been generally saying about FC. Basically, everyone's in agreement. FC25 is the worst one. Now, of course, Reddit is, a proper place. But I think it's like a place where you'll probably find the most negative, reviews of certain stuff. But I think, for what it's worth, everything that they've said here, very justified. But yeah, with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed my trip down Reddit, Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.